You're part of the Luton in Harmony programme, yet you're the imam and you want death for the homosexual community. Now, from this, in ideal society, we would punish homosexuals. This come out of my interview with him, just from asking him 1 or 2 questions, where no journalists, they get these imams on the TV, and I think, why are you not asking them questions? So when they asked that, in response to that, because he's the head teacher of a school, yeah, and I've been battling against this group for years, yeah, and just getting shut door in my face. He's sitting, my council are having meetings with him and all his group, and we're on the outside. We're the extremists. They're welcomed in, they're funded, the government are giving them money for their mosque, everything, yeah. So I'm in there. They then do an investigation into his mosque, and then they Ofsted, because it's a school, they raid the mosque. They find books for the children about punishing, killing people, whipping women for adultery, cutting off of hands, all these different things in the school. Then we have a Khalid Masood commits a terrorist attack. Westminster Bridge. Guess where he was working? Luton Islamic Centre. Guess where the Stockholm bomber went? Luton Islamic Centre. So now, all the things, and this is the level of infiltration, yeah? When I was running the English Defence League, Luton Mosque challenged bombers' extreme views. These are the headlines that they gave as though they were heroes, yeah? Luton Mosque gets money from the Prevent scheme. The government give every mosque in our country money to report if someone's an extremist. When that man went and blew something up, they had never reported him. But then they play the victim all the time, yeah? But Kadir Bask, they receive money. When all this is blown up and I'm trying to challenge him and we're being called the extremists, there was a group, Luton Borough Council introduced me to a man whose job it was to tackle far-right extremism. So when I met him, I was running the English Defence League. It was in the first couple of years of the English Defence League. He steps forward and he said, right, he told me everything he wants to do. I want to tackle racism. I'm against extremism. I said, I support you in everything you say. Just come and spend 3 days with me. So I bring him into English Defence League meetings and I say, right, this man's job wants to tackle racism, anti-Semitism, extremism, all that. And I said, he's just going to spend a few days listening to what we're doing. He then said to me, there's something different here because far-right groups wouldn't allow this. And I said, mate, this isn't far-right ideology. We're normal people who have had enough, yeah? So his job is to give presentations to councils. Now, after I've exposed Kadir Bask massively as an extremist, radical, jihadist supporter, yeah, because that's who he is. When the Khalid Masood attack comes, the national newspapers are ringing me when they realise. And I've got all of them ringing me saying, what do you know on him? I said, this school, I'm giving them every bit of information because I know everything in my hometown about these groups. I've been following them. I know where they all are. And then there's raids going on at the time and it's all blowing up. I'm feeding them all the information on who he is. Then the police have education and they have people going in and educating them on the far right and on Islam. So this gentleman whose job it is to tackle racism turns up after all of this. He turns up to a seminar. Who's educating the police on Islam?
Get out of here.
I swear to God.
Get out of here.
This is the level they're at. So no one's even, he's a terrorist supporter. Yeah. When they're going in, he's telling the police what phrases to use, what terms.
What other Muslim leaders and influencers have you confronted in UK?
I've confronted all. So in the UK, I was the only.
Have you and Hijab ever done a podcast together?
I'll tell you what Hijab done just like 12 months ago. Hijab sent letters to my children's home. I say, this is how they operate. Yeah. So he sent legal letters. So what I said Muhammad Hijab is a caveman because he is. Yeah. His ideologies belong 1400 years ago with his prophet. Now, what he believes is that it's okay, and he says this, yeah, sexual relationship once a child starts puberty, because that's what Muhammad did. Now, it's hard to have these conversations anyway. No one wants to hear them. Yeah. So I made a video saying about his deranged backward views to try and intimidate me, which is what it was, because that's what they do. He sent letters to my children's home just to let me know he knows where my kids are. Legal letters. Yeah. I responded the next day by posting those legal letters straight through his home because, as I said, I do my homework. And what they're used to doing is intimidating and installing fear in people and people shutting up. And the problem is, it's not just them. My biggest fear, I don't fear Mohammed Hijab, a clown like that. It's a joke. I don't feel, even the jihadists. My fear ain't to walk down the street and get stabbed. I've sort of accepted that. I've accepted where I stand in that position.